Yeah, up those mighty Blues, baby. 3-0 coming. Because Queensland, wow.
It's fascinating.
They are.
You know what's strange? A favourite one.
Whoa. It took Origin for a favourite to win, but the New South Wales prevail in Game 1 as the Back Yourself podcast came on and predicted. Minus 3.5 was that it. And we were handicapped because we were not allowed to kick one goal, but it didn't matter, baby. The Blues come out on top. 4 tries to 1 in Game 1 in the cauldron. And essentially, in my mind, I wouldn't even play Game 2 or 3. These guys, whoo! But we'll talk about each individual team, the individual players who stood out to you. We're doing this 2 minutes after full time. Probably could have done it 10 minutes before full time, but obviously
the line was in jeopardy.
I'm going to be periodically checking to see. I guess like I can't even think of who they could give man of the match to besides Lomax. He was that good, and no one else really stood up to his extent, in my opinion. Maybe a couple of the New South Wales forwards, but
they won't do that.
He was that
scored
good.
2 tries.
2 tries, all the meters, try saver, like
try assist.
He
caught the ball to score the other try.
He was fucking in everything. So shout out to Zac Lomax. What a performance from you. But outside of that, Chrissy, welcome. How are you feeling, mate? The Blues get up in Game 1.
Mate, it's good to see we win one when we should win one. But Queensland...
It's bad when even you can't vouch for them.
I think a lot of this podcast will be like, what do they even do? Like
nothing.
I feel like they have nothing.
Yeah,
like they can't do much.
Yeah.
But you'll go through the review. Like the game itself wasn't that entertaining. Let's start with Dale.
All right. Like on the Back Yourself podcast, number one, we put our bets and our tips at the forefront. But in these big high leverage games, we do like to see like a really good high quality game of footy. You compare this Origin to, for example, Game 3 of last year, which was one of the best I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
In all honesty, and I'm coming on after like a winning best bet. My states won. I am a true blue at heart. That was a pretty mediocre game of Origin, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And New South Wales is at fault for some things, but...
Queensland,
you guys are absolutely awful. And when I put it this way, I don't think anyone can agree with me. All right, you had Game 1 in your building at Suncorp, which is a perceived fortress.
Yeah.
You allowed New South Wales to come in, give you a sin bin, miss 4 of 4 conversions on tries, donate you a free try from the troll throwing the ball at the ground, and on your home floor, you still lost. It's like you pretty much lost 13 plus on your own home fucking field.
Yeah.
And for all we said that, well, how can you win a series against Latrell and Moses and Cleary and these guys did nothing. Latrell might have been the New South Wales worst player.
No.
You can make an argument for somebody else.
There was someone missing the kicks.
Latrell was easily in the bottom 3, and he was supposedly going to be an X factor that, how can you put Robert Toy on him? He's going to get fed. Latrell may as well not have even played.
What's interesting is...
No, I'm not done with Queensland.
The halves were awful.
A true reflection of this game on your home court should have been 28-0. And New South Wales didn't even play that good.
Yeah, I agree. Well, New South Wales was atrocious. You know what? Both teams
I wouldn't go that far.
No, they were both pretty bad.
Look, New South Wales had a lot of room for improvement, I would say.
No, you know what?
They played the Origin parts of the game quite well for most of the game. I can't make one argument for anything Queensland did good. You can't defend like garbage. You, in the middle of the park, couldn't make meters, couldn't restrict New South Wales from making meters, made errors at bad times, gave penalties away every 2 seconds. Kicking game was awful. There was nothing good about this.
I'm going to play devil's advocate of ourselves.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, it's the Origin arena, so it's a bit different. But think about it this way, right? And I'm not defending Queensland, because Queensland was shit. But... this is where I'm going to take a backward step on New South Wales before everyone comes at me and says, you don't respect the state. They actually were shit. Let's just
New South Wales?
They were shit. Think about it this way, right? We scored 4 tries. One of them was very good play.
Which one?
The second one.
The Moses break into the
Moses break was great. The first 2 were pretty good. The third one was a complete defensive just fucking lapse altogether from Hammer.
Yeah.
Like... like fucking Titans would score that.
Yeah.
Like it was just this cunt's retarded.
You shouldn't see that in Origin.
Yeah, you shouldn't see that in Origin ever. And the last try was just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, really. Lomax caught it. He didn't drop it, apparently. And then he passes it to Watson, who's literally falling down and throws it back, and Edwards is there. Like, if you actually break down the tries, we scored 2 decent tries. They scored 1 off our mistake. So they scored 0. It's 12, and it ended as 12, right?
Yep.
And, like, if you went into it, say pre-game, and you said New South Wales are only going to score 12 points, I'd be like, fuck, we're fucked here. Like, we would concede. So the one thing you can take away as a New South Wales supporter and everyone that went for New South Wales is the defence was brilliant. They just shut down anything they put together.
They really did, yeah.
And both edges were great. Where Latrell was probably one of the worst players on the park, outside of fucking Cleary himself, I want to say. Our best half was fucking Moses. Like, out of the whole spine, he was... No, Edwards was the best.
Edwards was the best, yeah. He played really
And
good.
then Moses.
Yeah.
Like, just because he was there. Cleary was... Holy shit. Like...
He looked like Hines.
Did Hines play that bad?
In Hines' defense, which I don't want to defend him,
He 12.
He played with 12 men, right? I'm telling you, Cleary, like... If Nico played like Cleary did tonight, the world would get to like
100%.
Cleary will get away with it because
we're going to be the only ones to call this out.
He was awful.
100%. He was awful.
If you took Cleary off the back of his jersey and put a blank face there, he didn't look like Nathan Cleary at all.
He was that bad kicking. They made Lomax kick the last goal. Not that Lomax kicked it.
Yeah, and Lomax missed it as well.
Yeah, I know.
A nightmare for anyone on overs. But from my perspective, I can't even put into words Queensland.
Yeah.
You cunts had the worst Queensland team ever where you didn't have like good players across the park, but they were better put together than this. This was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
I will say, to start the game off in the fashion that Ashley Klein started the game off, as a Blues fan, was out of control.
Yeah.
There was no reason to just give multiple fucking... I guess like the NRL's doing so good in terms of marketing and bringing traction to the game that... For many people, this might have been like one of the few games they watch in the year, and they don't want it to escalate to a point where these cunts punch on, right?
Why not?
So when at the start, like Tino did the rubbish on the face, and there was the other one at the start where they like the first 2 penalties New South Wales got. I was like, sure, are Queensland dumb for doing it? Yeah, but like, why are we like allowing New South Wales to just go up?
You know what the concern about this Origin game and why we
I don't know. Maybe we're old school because we grew up with Gallen and Miles fucking beating the shit out of each other in the middle of the park, but it's just a different fucking product now than it was 10 years ago.
It was just a regular season game.
Yeah, if anything, like...
I saw more aggression in that Raiders-Warriors game.
Yeah.
The one that played on the weekend than this.
Yeah.
And this is like state versus state, all the hype, all the rivalry. And what's actually just shit, and I don't know if this is from the league, like it doesn't make sense. The whole spiel of everything they market is that this is a rivalry, it's going to be a war, all the like pre-game stuff with Spencer Liniu and stuff like that. Like, they go out there and they give this rubbish on the face. Like that first one that Tino gave up, that was so soft.
Yeah, that was really soft.
So soft. And there was also one in the second half where, I think it was the start of the second, when Munster was on the ground and like Liam Martin came in 30.
Tickled his head, yeah.
Like, what?
Just shit house.
It's just like, is this what we're going to get as a product? Like, even when it gets to the grand final? Like, I know we don't want fighting, we don't want HIAs, we don't want concussions for these players, but this is the Origin arena. It's an arena. It was a Coliseum, right? And it didn't seem like it.
I feel like you should have a different set of rules for an Origin
I agree.
game, personally,
I don't understand.
It did give a bit of... It looked no different to Raiders Warriors on the weekend. Well, I mean, Adam G was completely out of control.
But at least they put shots on.
Yeah. No, this was... Queensland, like... I'm not sure they could have played any worse.
No, they
couldn't. What would the scoreline be if a well-executed, like, well-polished Blues team came to the building?
Oh, 40.
Literally 46-0.
Yeah, 40.
These cunts were fucking
No, I'm saying with another half, we'd get 40.
Look, from the New South Wales side, I know you're quite critical of them not being able to execute. In my mind, I came into the series thinking we have 2 of the best strike weapons on either side of the field in Origin recent history, and we have 2 of the best ball-playing, ball-distributing halves in Origin history. Cleary and Moses look no different to Luai and Moses, look no different to Cleary and Luai, look no different to fucking Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds. It's always the same. It doesn't matter what name we have in the halves.
Agreed.
we can never methodically break Queensland down. Which at this point, like, sure, like, maybe I grew up watching Thurston and Lockyer, and they were just that good that they could make set plays look like just a fucking game of a club game on the weekend, and they could execute under pressure. I appreciate that it's hard, but for example, in the first half, Cleary just like cutting it out, not to Moses, but not to the guy behind him anyway. Cherry Evans jumps on the ball, and I'm like, you're just better than that. Cleary's kicking game, I want to say, I don't think he forced one repeat set the entire game.
No.
His kicks, he didn't put one spiral bomb up. They were all end over end. Didn't really give his chasers a chance. He gets credit for the one at the end that Lomax, he puts it on a 50-cent coin for Lomax to go bring it down, which that was a good kick. But outside of that, you had the Moses kick where he just gives a 7-tackle set away to start the second half, where I was like, all right, the radar's just completely off, and that was supposed to be one of our strengths. But in spite of a few things they didn't do great, I thought physically the aggression in the middle of the park from the Blues was top tier. With the ball in hand, they made meters. They really restricted Queensland. Multiple sets in a row where they're making like 30 to 35 meters tops. Mitch Barnett, Isaiah Yeo, Payne Haas, Spencer Leniu, and shout out to even Max King for his Origin debut. I thought
he did his job.
They were very consistent. There was no lapses in intensity across the 80 minutes. And that's something that was a big part of why we thought New South Wales would win this game. The Queensland forward pack, I mean, fuck me. Like,
I just don't think they have the personnel.
They just don't have the players. There's not enough meters. There's not enough. I thought Tino was good for them. Liero mid. Cotter mid. Nanai puts a big hit on.
No. Cotter was awful. Did he even play?
Cotter didn't even play. Fodawaker, awful.
Yeah,
Collins, awful. Like, did nothing.
Nothing.
There was no contribution from anyone of them outside of Tino. And Nanai was hot and cold. That's Harry Grant. By halftime, 0 out of 10 Origin performance.
Yeah.
Literally one.
Well, their spine was atrocious. Kalen was the best player, and he was awful. Their best.
I don't think Munster and Cherry Evans had much of an opportunity to do anything because their forwards was so bad. But with their limited opportunity, they did nothing either. Harry Grant was actually atrocious.
Harry Grant was their worst.
Yeah.
100. Oh, Fonawaker.
It's up there. But Harry Grant, like, the knock-on, the chip into the New South Wales in goal on last.
The kick of the penalty.
Taking a scoot of last. The kick of the penalty. This guy was out of control.
He was so bad.
He was in, like, peak degenerate Melbourne. I'm just going to go out there for shits and gigs mode.
I don't know why people rate him so much. Like, he's actually not that good.
He
has these moments in him all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's visible in every game. He can be brilliant by doing this, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work, and it really didn't work. And they kind of needed him today.
They needed him big time.
And I don't know, he just fell to the pressure, I guess. Like that set. I think where they lost the game was when New South Wales were up 2-0 and they had to set on their line, and Harry did that last minute scoot.
Yeah.
Like realistically, Queensland are not going to go on up and down the field with New South Wales. They're going to pick their moments and screw us over on that. And that particular moment, if they had scored, New South Wales would be like, we're losing.
We had all the ball. We took the 2, and now 6-2.
Yeah, like that would have changed the game. But Harry does that garbage. Then later they give a penalty, and then obviously New South Wales get their first try through great play on the left edge, which is our only edge at this point. Like,
oh no, I thought the right edge played pretty good.
Yeah, but
it's just clearly didn't play good. Between Edwards, Lomax, and Critter, I thought they were
Lomax
really good.
was there, right?
Yeah,
but fuck me.
Even Liam Martin did like some good things.
It's just this guy. Bro, he was so bad.
Look, I'm not sure we need to really say that much more about the game. Is there any moments, anything in particular about how the game played out that stood out to you?
I'll give you a moment in a second if this guy didn't get...
Lomax, surely he's won the bloody...
Surely.
I'll let you investigate that while I just ramble on. But from my perspective, it was clear.
I mean, fair enough.
Haas. I thought Haas
Fair enough.
Okay. I thought, like... From my perspective, do you want to talk anything about what happened in the game?
Not really. I like, this should be 3-0. And there should be no, like... in the game itself, New South Wales just too good through the middle of the park. And what my concern... And I guess this is the final take I'll take on most of the players, is I reckon if you replace... What's our, C grade, B grade halves... Not to take away from Moses, right? Because I thought Moses was okay. But if you played, let's say, Hines and Galvin, we would have won. The same. Would it changed?
I'm not sure. Like Moses had the line break where we ended up scoring,
And the
next
pass
play.
to Latrell. That's it.
But outside of that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they really did any. Their kicking game was below par
Below
for
par,
them.
yeah.
If we had like Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker, we probably win the same. If not,
Because okay, so and that just says where New South Wales' strengths are. The outside backs, brilliant meters wise, from Edwards to Lomax to Toto, even though he got a sin bin. Crichton and Latrell did their job in the centre. Latrell was just being Latrell. Look, he gave up 4, but he got us 4, so 15 all. But also he gave like a bunch of penalties, put pressure on us for no reason. But it's Latrell.
He was playing like a bonehead, I think.
It's Latrell, right?
Yeah.
But the forwards were just brilliant. Just that's where the edge was, and that's why. I mean, if you just win the forwards, you win by 12, and that's exactly like I would say you win by about 12 points, 10 points.
Yeah.
And they won the forwards, and they won by 12 or 10 points. Should they, and in what we expected, should they have won by more? Of course, because we expect the halves to have a gun-kicking game. We expect Cleary and Moses to just be brilliant and untouchable, and they weren't. But everywhere else in the park, because we're so talented, it didn't really matter.
Where we said we have the edges, like don't worry about the centers and the halves because that's like
It's a
clear
forward.
cut and obvious. We said between To'o, Edwards, Lomax as a backline, and Haas, Yo, Spencer Leniu with the ball in hand. I mean, fuck me, we got to roll on. Like,
Yeah, we gotta roll
every set was
instantly.
just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yo, 10 meters. Leniu, 10 meters. Edwards making 15 off a kick return. So with the ball in hand, I thought we were like getting some crazy momentum through the middle. Robson did his job, didn't do anything outstanding, didn't do
Correct.
anything wrong. And I think without the ball, Max King, Mitch Barnett, Yo, Angus Crichton and Liam Martin.
The forwards were brilliant.
The line speed and the pressure was consistent for 80 minutes.
They were brilliant. They
which
were
was
brilliant.
really like...
Why we won.
If you give Queensland enough possession down your end and they're not like extremely fatigued, between Ponga and Hammer and all
They will
these kinds,
score.
they will score some garbage. But the way we were able to repel their opportunities of getting down there, and then once we got down there, like I thought the scramble and the desperation, like we looked hungrier than them. Which,
Yeah. Which is odd.
Considering we're in Suncorp, like we just turned up time and time and time again. So I was really impressed with New South Wales in those areas, but I just expected better execution out of their key playmakers, which the fact that, like, does it even matter? Can they just rock up and take 100 hit-ups between Edwards and Lomax and To'o?
Yeah, and we'll win.
And then eventually just crash over a couple of times? And can Queensland score more than 12? Apparently not.
Well, look, Queensland, the only way they were going to win this is like a really, like, I don't know, back and forth, not back and forth, but like lots of errors, grit, big tackles, aggression, being shit cunts, basically. And like, because, and I don't want to take any credit away from New South Wales because they deserve to win, but those two calls at the start, Queensland were like, well, we can't fucking just go hit random cunts. He's going to just call it.
Yeah.
Like, it took away their only ability to win, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
That, okay, they got under New South Wales' skin, we started playing like idiots, and that's why they won. Without that, like, because in 2 seconds it was taken away from them, how can you expect them just to go out there and win? Like, they're just not matched up anywhere on the park compared to New South Wales, and that's why the result ended as is.
Yeah.
Like, the penalty count was, or even them, like, what did, you could argue this Queensland team played soft,
Yeah.
and the penalty count was still like 10-5 in New South Wales direction.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what do you expect?
We're not biased. I feel like New South Wales got a lot of the rub of the green for no reason.
Yeah, they did.
Like, some of the 6 against he gave New South Wales, he didn't really give Queensland. Some of the soft garbage, yardage penalties he gave New South Wales, he didn't give Queensland, which New South Wales are already better than them.
Yeah.
They're like more athletic, they're more powerful.
Making more meters.
If you're going to give them fucking yardage penalties as well, then eventually they're going to win. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of just proves us right that when I was like, Queensland shouldn't win one game this series, they really shouldn't.
They shouldn't. Mate, even when I'm against them, you know it's a problem.
Yeah, agreed. I'm going to go player by player. I want you to give just like a very quick analysis of how you thought they played and maybe a rating out of 10. Dylan Edwards.
One of New South Wales' best. Did his job, made his meters, and was there in support for the try. So fair enough. He did well.
What would you give him out of 10?
8.
I'll give him an 8.5 only because he was a bit questionable under the high ball, dropped a few of the bombs, but outside of that, didn't step a foot wrong. Was supporting, made meters. He was great, in my opinion. Brian To'o.
7.5, only because of the sin bin. But I can't really blame him too much. He did his job again, made his meters.
Yeah, he can't just like grow 6 inches, I guess. So
Yeah,
fair
well,
enough.
obviously, but just like,
Was that a penalty try?
nah. He dropped it. I think if he held it and then
Yeah.
you could see visibly he was tackling him, then I would give it. But he literally dropped it.
I agree with you. I would give Bizas 7 out of 10. He did his job. He was okay. Stephen Crichton.
I'll give him a 7.5 as well. Didn't impact the game much, but defensively kept Hammer silent. That's all you really need to do at the moment.
I'll give Crichton a 9 out of 10 because did Hammer even play?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's his job, right?
Yeah.
So
Because
I'll give him an 8 because you're right.
Pre-game, we were like, the only cunts that I'm scared of is Ponga and Hammer. And Hammer was, I'm going to get to his rating. He did nothing the whole game. And that's because Crichton didn't allow him to do anything.
Correct.
And Crichton actually like barged him over once or twice, which for us, was it the third piss week try that we scored?
Yeah,
You see Hammer coming on him for like from 5 kilometers away, and I think Critter set that up by getting the best of him a couple times. Shout out to Matt. I'm sure you enjoyed Critter dominating his opposition in that game. Latrell,
5. Gave him the only chance to actually have a hope. Like, if it wasn't for him and they don't drop it during that Simbin period, it would have been 14-0 and these guys would have given up.
I'm going to go 4 out of 10. The only reason he gets 4 is because of the quick hand try set up to To'o. Outside of that, he didn't particularly...
And he gave some rubbish penalties.
He gave some rubbish penalties. Like, he was...
It's Latrell.
Yeah. I still love him, though. Don't get it twisted. Lomax?
My man of the match, 10 out of 10. He was brilliant.
10 out of 10. Couldn't have done any more from...
Maybe the one error you could take away from him in his own half, but me, he was good.
You know what? When you take that many hit up, score 2 tries, set 1 up, save 1, you're allowed to drop it once. Lomax was fucking great. I'm glad he's developed to a point where he's an automatic selection for New South Wales on the wing every year. This cunt's fucking incredible. Mitch Moses?
6.5. He was better than Cleary. He wasn't great. His kicking game and especially management of that seven tackle set could have turned the whole game for us, but luckily it didn't because these guys couldn't score. But didn't like his kicking game. And you know what? I think at this point, and we'll get to the next person's rating, I kind of feel like he didn't ask for the ball too much. He kind of took a back seat.
I think he did.
And like... He needed... maybe they just didn't give him the ball. He needs more of the ball. Every time he was touching it, it was good.
He looked dangerous. I think he had limited opportunity. The kicking game was not where it normally is. Few good passes. Took the line on decent. I would give him 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
He was okay. A little bit better than okay. He wasn't great. Defensively, he was good, though, which I think both of our halves were very good. On the edges, they didn't have much.
No, they didn't.
Cleary?
4. Hines would have been there.
Yeah.
Hines would have done a better job. You telling me Hines couldn't kick 1 goal?
I'll give Cleary 5.
5.
Just because...
Did you give Latrell 4?
Yeah.
So you got New South Wales. Well, the
I think
forwards are all
Latrell's-
going to be like 8.
I think Latrell was our worst player. But was Latrell even awful? I would say no. But
I mean, he scored 4.
yeah.
But this guy scored 0.
No, Cleary, like... Towards the end, I feel like he was playing better in the last 20. He was taking the line on and causing some problems. He had the offload for Watson, which Watson dropped. Otherwise, maybe that's a half chance, but didn't combine with Moses well at all.
No.
Didn't really create space for the right side players. He kind of just like gave him the ball, and it was all up to Critter and Liam Martin to do their own thing. Put the kick in for Lomax, which was a good kick. Missed every conversion he took, which was unpredictable.
And then gave up and gave it
and
to
then
Lomax.
gave up, who also gave up.
Yeah.
But I can't give him anything more than 5.5, maybe at max.
4.
I would like you guys to comment in the comment section below if you feel like we're being too harsh on Cleary and Moses, but more so Cleary. But I'm not sure that you could argue that they deserve any more than what we gave them.
No,
And if you can, I'd like to hear why.
I don't think they were great.
Mitch Barnett.
I don't think there's a New South Wales forward I can give below 7.5. They
I
were
agree
all
with
great. 7.5. He wasn't the best of all of them, but he did his job. And
As a starting front rower.
he took the sting out of him very easily. And when Liera came on, these guys were fucked. So
Yep. I'll give him 7.5. He did good. I'd like to see him in the team for the next game. And I think you're a player like Mitch Barnett that's not going to break the game open or do an offload that's going to cause a line break. If we can come on after the game and be like, yeah, he played pretty good. Like, I have nothing wrong to say about him. Then he's done his job, and I'm happy with him.
I agree.
Reece Robson, your boy.
I got to give him more than Moses, but I can't give him more than Edwards. I would say 7.
I'll give him a 7.
Did he do anything brilliant? Did he do anything wrong? Did he do anything to jeopardize us? No.
Did he do exactly what you thought you'd get out of him? Yeah. He was a
that's
7.
what he is, right? That's what he is. You can't get much more.
Payne Haas?
I don't think he was Lomax performance. I'm going to give him a 9, though. Led the forward pack and had to lead the forward pack. I remember we were looking at this. If Haas is not there, maybe we're going to have a few issues.
We would have struggled without him.
But, wow, he was great. And I think this is probably his best New South Wales performance so far. He was absolutely brilliant and stood up to the Queensland pack and took them away, basically. So, yeah, Haas was fantastic.
He really did stand up to the Cowboys pack tonight. I'm proud of him. Yeah, I'd give him a 9, Matt. I'd give him a 9. Probably his best game in the Blues jersey. I'm grateful that he's a part of our state.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with Payno. Liam Martin?
7.5. Only, he did his job, obviously, at the edge, but offensively, he's a weapon. He just...
His mate didn't give him the ball.
It just takes him a lot from Cleary. It takes away a lot from Cleary because, both him and Angus, in my opinion, would be exactly the same because their halves weren't giving him the ball like what I expected them to do. So
I agree with you.
I think, they could only play so well because of the way the halves were playing. 100%. So
Liam Martin, give him 7.5 like you said, and I can't give him any less or more, in my opinion.
Angus Crichton the same.
Copy-paste, same with Angus Crichton. Did his job.
Maybe he got the ball a little bit more.
I give him an 8. He was a bit more damaging with the ball.
Yeah, he was a bit more damaging. True. And he made that play that essentially got us the try and gave it to Moses.
Isaiah.
He was great. 8.5.
I'll give him a 9. I think he was as good as Haas.
I think it was pretty... I think Haas, really stood up to... I know what I'm going to get out of him. He was fantastic today, but Haas was something else. I think he was untouchable.
As our captain, I think, he held, a good standard in the middle for the whole game, and I'll give him a 9. I thought, he was really good. Connor Watson...
7?
I would say who cares?
He came on, had a crack, got a try assist.
Connor Watson's job...
I don't like Connor Watson's role in this team at all, but that's just me. I feel like he needs to be a bit more impactful. He should come on when Dearden comes on, but then you can't take Robson off because he wants to play 90 minutes in an 80-minute match. So it's he comes on in the last 15. What do you expect him to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. When we need that, at the moment, we're blessed because we have so many good players. We have skills across the park. We're winning games regardless. When we need that impact and something strong on, I don't know if Connor can do it, but we will never know. So
yeah, I'll give him a 5 just because I guess he got the try assist.
Yeah.
Sure. Spencer?
7.5.
Yeah, Spencer.
The whole forward pack was just the same. They were all brilliant.
I'll give Spencer 8. I think his runs were very impactful.
Yeah.
Hudson? Yeah, Hudson was gone.
Yeah, he was good.
Max
Impact.
King, I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he wasn't any better or worse than all the other Blues forwards that got 7.5. He was a big part of why Queensland couldn't make meters. He was there. It was like a brick wall every time they ran at him. Did his job. Did he do anything flashy? No. Is he a flashy player? No. So you got what you wanted out of him. He was fine.
Terrell May. I'll give him 7. He was the worst forward. And all the forwards were great, but he was the worst.
Speaking of worst, there's a few candidates on the team we're about to talk about. But I think this will probably illustrate how bad these cunts actually were. Yeah. We'll start with the Knights' royalty at fullback, KP.
6.5. He was their best, in my opinion. Only one that showed any signs of anything. And every time he got the ball, New South Wales kind of, even I was sitting there fuck off. Just leave us alone. He always plays good for them, and probably his best performance of the year, which is incredible to say. That's how bad Knights are.
Says a lot about Knights.
Yeah.
Look, I'll give him 6 out of 10. I feel like fullback's the position in the field that is toughest to put an imprint on the game when you're getting raped in the forwards and you're kicking game shit house. But he looked more likely than anyone else for what that's worth. But slightly above average, I'll give him 6 out of 10.
Fair enough.
Coates.
5. Didn't do much. Maybe got them a sin bin. Can't really say much about him.
He got him a sin bin. They clearly didn't watch the Tupou and Hiroti game on the weekend to just constantly keep kicking to him for the whole game. They might have got 3 sin bins, but did he do anything else? His carries were pretty soft. 5 out of 10 because he forced a sin bin and nothing more. Robert Toya on debut?
5.5. He did all right. It wasn't the blowout that he was going to just get killed by Latrell. He stood at his ground, did pretty well. I think he earned his spot again. Would maybe... I'm I'd still pick Gagai. I think he showed pretty well, but I think Gagai like at least shows like something.
pick
I feel
more
like
nights.
he didn't do anything on offense. He didn't even give him anything.
I'm probably being too generous here. I'll give him 6 out of 10.
Wow.
Purely because
You like him.
he's a 19-year-old kid and he didn't get raped by Latrell in Origin.
Fair enough.
Hammer time?
2. Worst, like one of the worst of all. It's not the fact that you get pumped by a critter. Like, I'm fine with that. It's that you just stood there at left center. Like, no one does that. Like, if you're getting pumped, you're not playing man-man coverage. This is not NFL. You can float to the other side of the field and no one's going to track you. And you know what? It was also fascinating. We didn't put one kick up for Hammer to chase down and try and get it over Edwards.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Then
like...
he just completely was out of the game.
He's just out of the game. And he sat okay with it.
Yeah.
And when Robert Toyo is there, you need to be the impact, regardless of what side of the field it's on. You are the star center. Like, it just, I don't know, made no sense to me, but Stephen Crichton had a great game to lock him up.
One of Queensland's worst players. I would give him 2 out of 10 as well.
You would also give him a 2.
Didn't impact the game at all. Seemed like he was okay to just be completely shut down by Critter, which is fine in a way because, I mean, Stephen Crichton's one of the best defensive centers in the league. But
Yeah.
like you said, similar to Turbo and Origin the other year where he was just popping up left, right and center, would I have liked to see Hammer be like, you know what, I can't get around this guy. I will at least like support Carrigan and Tino and maybe go on the other side and tune into a backline with KP once or twice. Instead, he was just like, oh, Critter's feeding me. I'll just like not do anything. And he essentially gave 6 points away when he came in on Critter for no reason on that third try for New South Wales. After being beaten by him multiple times, I thought Critter gave him a complete bath. Val?
5. Like, I think Hammer like kind of tarnished what he was going to do. Ran hard from the back line. He's not a big guy, but he had a crack, and I can't blame him of any of the catches over Lomax. Like, you can't. What are you supposed to do? So
same thing with Toto, and like we can't blame Bizza. So I'll give Val 5. Didn't do anything wrong. Couldn't do much right because he just didn't have opportunity.
Played for Dragon.
Munster?
5.5. Like, again, didn't do much. Just forwards, no drive through the middle, and he didn't have Hughes on the other side. The only thing I didn't like about the Queensland halves is I feel like they should have just kept spamming the right. Just keep going right, keep going right. You're not going to score on the left with Critter there. Like, and that's like the whole thing of Billy, right? Okay, give it a few cracks. Maybe you'll get through. If you can't get through, then this side is Latrell, who doesn't usually play center. Toto, who's not going to, like, Toto is not a big guy, and you have Coates there. Like,
the footy smarts weren't there.
Footy smarts just keep going right, and you would expect Munster and Cherry Evans to do something like that. Cherry Evans seems to do it Manly every 2 seconds.
I'm actually going to give Munster 4 out of 10, just because of what I expect out of him in the Origin arena. Didn't really put his hand up and take the game by the scruff of the neck. I understand his forwards were getting hammered. His outside backs seemed disengaged, but he did nothing to help them, and he's kind of supposedly their saviour.
Correct.
So I'll give him 4 out of 10. Cherry Evans?
I'll give him the 4. I think he was worse than Munster.
He essentially did nothing.
The kicking game was just not there. And, like, when New South Wales were kicking so bad, Cherry Evans was honestly kicking worse. Like, kicking it up in the air and expecting Lomax, Toto, or Edwards to drop it, which they did drop it a few times, especially when contested, but like those starts from like the 25-meter line and they're able to run up and then you got to tackle them. They're literally already on halfway.
Yeah.
Shit kicks and that's why I got him a 4.
Yeah. As the captain of the state and like watching the going get tough for the rest of the boys, I got to give him 4 out of 10. He did nothing to save them. Fodawaker.
2.
Yeah.
Was he worse than Hammer time?
As bad.
It was just as bad. Yeah.
No impactful carries, nothing
do
defensively, dropped the ball and like literally killed the entire building in that last 10. Played like a true Titan. Was awful.
Yeah.
Speaking of awful, the worst player on the field for either team, Harry Grant, literally is capable, shout out to Jeremy, shout out to JB, of being rocks and diamonds at time. There was no diamond. This was just that first 40 might have been one of the all-time. There was Talakai's like Origin performance. Swali. Well, Swali's the only Origin 0 of all time. Where I don't think he registered a sat except a penalty and a send-off. But outside of that, Harry was right up there. He was absolutely awful. The 7-tackle set where I watched over 500 games of footy a year. I've never seen a dummy half just on the 10-meter line pick it up and chip it into the in goal like that. He had an error. I think he gave a... Oh! When he kicked the ball through the rock, I was like, this guy's lost a plot. And then when he took his only hit up of the game on last tackle to give the ball away, I was like, this guy is sabotaging Queensland. This is insane.
He was so
1
bad.
out of 10. Awful, awful
He
performance.
could get a half.
Nah, this guy was awful, Chris.
Yeah, it was-
Fuck me. Tino?
5.5. In a dominated forward pack, one of their best. Always gives 100% effort.
It's like he was out there playing with Titans again.
I think he could chase his head a little bit more? Sure, but would it have caused errors maybe and caused some shit maybe? He's not playing fucking Titans. And obviously Hammer's not there to support him, or Kinney in his scenario. So, yeah, 5.5.
I'll give him 7. I feel like he was the best in a shithouse forward pack, and that's the best compliment I could give him. He can't do it on his own.
No, he can't.
Ruben Cotter?
He needs David Fafita. Ruben Cotter, 3. Wow. Did he even play? And what's frustrating is not a second rower, so he shouldn't be there in the first place. And Billy's being just tricky when he has Jaden Sewer, who easily can play that position.
Or Kurt Capewell.
Or Capewell, but he refuses.
I
I think Capewell has to come in next game.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Ruben, 4 out of 10. He was awful. Like, didn't even play kind of territory where instead of a loser like Liero, you could have Cotter on the bench with Capewell or Sewer starting, who are both better back rowers than him. So Billy, I feel like he's even losing the plot.
Well, Sewer and Capewell have to both come in. Their forwards are just diabolical.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Nanai?
5. I don't know why he is their only offensive weapon. Why they keep kicking to him, but anyway.
Coates isn't tall enough.
Apparently. But yeah, he caused them the error to score their only try, so I have to give him a little bit of credit, and he gave him a go, but he's a cowboy at the end of the day.
I'll give him 6 out of 10 because at least he was having a fucking go out there.
Yeah, but his strip was just...
It was shit. It was dumb, but without him, they literally scored 0. So
Agreed.
fuck these
Yeah.
cunts. I'll give him 6 out of 10, but don't get me twisted. He wasn't good either. Patrick Carrigan.
5. Just played mid. He couldn't do much with that forward pack, to be
Yeah,
honest.
5 out of 10. At least he tried a couple offloads and got the ball away. But when Hammer's asleep on the other side of the field, like what?
You know what? It was like Haas and Carrigan. Instead, it was Tino and Carrigan. That was what it felt like. Everyone else was just atrocious.
Yeah, legit. Tom Dearden.
4.5. There were periods he was good, but behind that pack, you really can't do much.
By the time he got on the field, these cunts had already given up.
Anything was better than Harry, though. So can I give him that much credit? The way Harry was playing. So
You can give him 4.
4.5. 4.5.
It looked somewhat lively with the ball until Fodder Waker dropped it, and then as a state, they gave up. Lindsay Collins.
He was shit. 3. Like, no impact whatsoever.
Yeah.
Absolutely outshone by Spencer Linier.
I'm not sure having a sin bin would be any worse than bringing this cunt on. Bo Fermor, did he even run out there? Did he even get on the field for more than 10 minutes?
Fuck me. 2.5.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Well, at least he won't be tired for the Titans game on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Trent Liero.
2.
If it wasn't for Harry Grant, like...
You would be
I
down.
mean, did you technically do anything wrong? No, but you just... You literally gave Raiders a win the other week, which I still haven't forgiven you for.
That's
You didn't do anything good either.
Yeah.
So, on the look ahead now, Chrissy...
Should we bring Kurt Mann in?
Kurt Mann would have been better than these losers.
You reckon?
Now, on the look ahead, what do you think the spread is for
7.5.
game 2? Yeah, it's 7.5.
Okay. I didn't actually see. I just guessed.
There's no reason for these cunts to win a 10-minute interval in game 2. But will New South Wales get complacent knowing game 3 is back home? That's possible.
We already know that they're not going to change anything because they won.
Yeah, they think they're so good now.
Yeah. So what Queensland should change is fuck Cotter to the bench, start Sewer, bring Capewell in, bring Kurtman in, and I'd be like, all right.
If I was Billy, I would bring Nanai and Cotter off the bench.
Okay, and start Capewell and Sewer.
I would start Capewell and Sewer. I would keep Fermor, but I'd bring him on earlier. And I would bring Nanai off the bench as well with Cotter. Fuck Liero off, he sucks.
And keep Collins.
Keep Collins.
Keep Dearden.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to put all of them?
Fuck, sorry. Alright, fuck Fermor off.
Yeah, I don't think you need Former.
Fuck that cunt. Go Cotter, Nanai, Collins, and Dearden.
Yeah.
That's better than this.
I would keep Cotter on the bench, start the same, drop Leo and put Kentman in. I'll keep Firm.
So you wouldn't bring Sewer in?
No, Sewer starts. Oh, wait, Sewer starts, Cotter goes to the bench, drop Liero. Oh, then that's it.
So you wouldn't bring Capewell in?
No, you have to bring Capewell in. Capewell for Fermor.
Yeah, okay.
And if you get an injury outside Baxter, I think that helps.
Yeah,
you have to reshuffle the forwards. And, actually, fuck, they do get Cobbo back. Because he's playing this week, apparently.
Yeah, he healed.
So
Cobbo over Robert Toya.
you just go with it?
Yeah, fuck it.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't start Toya again. He wasn't bad, but you need Cobbo. Yeah, I'd put Cobbo in for Toya.
Or
you put Cobbo on the wing. He's great on the wing and start Val in the centres. But
Yeah.
Val and Latrell, we've seen this movie before.
yeah, he's just not big enough for him. Yeah.
They can bring Cobbo has to come in. I don't think there's a.
Is there any stretch where you would start Dearden in the halves?
Nah.
Ride it with Munster and Cherry Evans. And see how
Well,
they go?
is Hunt back?
Ben Hunt? I don't think so. It looks like a pretty bad hamstring strain.
If Hunt's back, then you have an argument because then you have to drop Dearden, and I don't think they should do that. But if without him, then I think he's the perfect 14. New South Wales, I would drop King. You know, you got your game, you got Debuba. I would bring Terrell Mayne. If we need something off the bench, at least I know he can provide something. If for some reason in some mystical world we're down 8 and we bring on Max King.
It does nothing for us.
Does nothing for us. At least Terrell May, he could throw an offload and we can score off it.
I agree with you.
I feel like that's the only change I would make to New South Wales. Even though, in my opinion, I'd bring Seawalks in, but he's not fit.
Cody Walker.
I think we need more offense, but that's just me. We can't
Fair enough.
score.
I think we could run this out, and I don't think Queensland will beat us once.
No,
They're
they won't.
so
They
bad.
won't. They shouldn't. There's no reason.
Yeah. Anyway, put a ball on it. New South Wales
50-0. Should have been.
just end the series. Queensland, you guys are fucking just shit.
Change it to Tasmania.
Unfortunately. But you guys let us know what you thought of Game 1 of State of Origin. Did the Blues deserve to win 13+ the way they did? Are Queensland as bad as we think? Who was the best player, worst player on each side? Give us your player ratings in the comment section below. Up the fucking Blues. 2 more to go, boys. I want blood. I don't want these guys to win a fucking half of footy.
And up the Waz.
And up the fucking mighty Waz. Peace out.
Peace.